Hey, kia ora, Helen Brahms here coming to you live from Palm Desert in California. Hope you're all having a super fantastic, sparkling, shake it up Saturday. Yes, sorry, it's been one of those days in a good way. Um, I'm sorry. Um, so Shake It Up Saturday is all about stepping out of your comfort zone, trying something new, doing something out of the ordinary that you don't typically do on your normal, regular Saturday, any day of the week, etc., etc., etc. So what have you guys been doing today to shake up your Saturday? Please let us know in the comments below. My day has been mind-blowing, brain-fried, overwhelm type of day. We have had an incredible, incredible day. If you're watching this morning or watching throughout the day, you know that we've been working at the Media Magic Workshop has been on today. Day one today, day two is tomorrow. Unfortunately, I'm going to miss most of it because I'm going to be traveling tomorrow. I may miss all of it. I don't know, depending on when I get out of here and when I get to my next destination and get hooked up. But it has been an incredible, incredible day. Lots of great information. And they even snuck in a special guest today, which was Dennis Yu, who is the CEO of. Damn it, it's totally slipped my mind. All I know is that he is an SEO guru. He's like a wizard with this stuff. He just showered us with a hail of golden nuggets for like 30 minutes, and it didn't even seem that he was talking to us for that long. But just all about the importance of doing 1 minute videos, the importance of capturing life's moments, just little snippets here and little snippets there and putting them together. He showed us thousands and thousands of photographs and videos that is in his storage bases on different platforms and everything. It was just incredible. And then Casey and Bajal, oh my gosh, those guys just blew it out of the park. It has been an incredible day, and I kind of knew most of what they were talking about because we kind of covered it before, but now they went more into depth, and my mind is just like overwhelmed right now. I can't think straight. But one thing I do know about what to do with dealing with an overwhelmed mind when you have been to an intense training like I was in today. So here's my advice for getting through the overwhelm from training. It is at the end of the day. Now I keep a notebook which I take notes in, even though I know I'm going to get a copy of the recording and the slides and all of that sort of stuff. That's okay. I still want to take my notes at the time. I also keep a list going of to-do things, a to-do list, and on there I put on resources that were shared throughout the day, books that were mentioned, tools that were mentioned, like lights, gimbals, the things that you put phones on to the smooth video thingamabob going on there. Just things that come up like that. I keep a list of all of that. I also keep a list of that when an idea comes up and I go, oh, that'd be a really good thing to do in my business. I note that down, as part of my to-do list. I'll make sure I do da 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 da. So I'm making my to-do list, my resource list at the same time. And then I get to the end of the day and I'm like looking at this list, I'm looking at the pages of notes I have taken, and I am just sort of like, and my brain is fried, and I'm like, oh my God, what do I do now? So what I do when I've had a day like that, which is like today, which is most of the time that I am on any day training stuff, is I close the notebook, I put the to-do list inside my planner, I close my laptop, and I'll either go take a nap, go for a walk, just get away from it all. And just let it sink in, because there was a lot of information today, a lot. And I just let it sink into me. And then what I can do is that it'll either be later tonight or first thing in the morning before we get on the road, is that I will open up the notebook again. I will open up the list that I made that's currently sitting inside my planner, and my phone and my planner are over there because I don't want to deal with them right now. Along with my note taking, it is over there because if I had it sitting here in front of me, I'd be going through it. So I've purposely got up. I put the planner, put my notebook together, and my phone. Well, my phone was almost out of juice anyway, and I took them over there to the other end of the RV, and they are sitting over there, the phone's on the charger, and that way when I sit down tonight to have dinner, nothing about today is going to be on the table, and I will not be tempted to look at it, because I just want it to sink in. And some of it I remember, some of it I don't. Some of it I got it jumbled up in there because of this overwhelmed sense. So what I would do either later this evening, probably not this evening because my brain is so fried, but probably first thing in the morning, like I'll get up, I'll have breakfast, have a shower, get dressed, have breakfast, getting ready for our trip and everything. Most of the stuff will be packed up this evening, and then I will take out that to-do list, and I will have a look at it. In fact, I may even do it tomorrow. In fact, I'm going to do it. I'm making a decision right now. I'm going to do it tomorrow when I get to where I'm going. Yes, I think. Because normally what I would do is look at it the next morning while I have breakfast. And then I would go down the to-do list. I would go down the resource list. And I have different files where things go. I will set up reminders for resources that I'm interested in looking at, but don't have a need for that resource right now. But I may do down the road. So I will put it in my to-do list with a reminder to pop up at that time. Do I need this resource right now? Nope, reset the reminder. Is it something that I need to do this week? Yes, put it in my planner. Schedule it in there. Is it something that I'm going to be looking at in 6 months' time? Because my business may not be at the capacity that it needs to be in order to use that resource, that tool, that idea. That gets pushed out 6 months, put into the reminders. So I have a lot of stuff either going on the calendar, in the reminders, and then I have, like in Amazon, I will make up a list. You know how you can have all your wish lists? You can actually have separate lists, which is really cool. So I will make up my list, which will have the name of the event on it. And in there, I will put in, like, if there's books that they recommended, if there's tools that they recommended that you can get through Amazon or anything. Even if I can't I may not buy it through Amazon, but I'm putting it in there anyway. So it's there as a list. And then I can go into that list at any time and look at that event I was at. Here's what was recommended, here are the books that were recommended, and all that. And then I have an app on my phone, which I would show you, but my phone is over there. It's called Blinkist, Blinkist. And what it is that they've taken all of these books and people have summarized them. And it takes you about 10 to 12 minutes to read a book, because it's basically just the highlights from a book. So I can go on Blinkist, look at the books that they recommend, read the summary that they have in there. Then I can decide, yep, that's enough. I don't need any more out of that book. I can also use it to remind myself what I've read in books in the past. Or I can look at it and go, ooh, that kind of intrigues me. I want to read more. And then I can go order the book. So it's a very good tool to be able to look at things like that. But of course, those sort of decisions are put off for a little bit, for like a week or two. And like the gimbal thing, it's something I've been looking at for like since they came out, because I remember it being on a Kickstart back when it came out. I don't know how many years ago that was. And I was looking at this thing and going, that would be really cool for when I'm traveling and doing videos and stuff. And I was also looking at GoPros at the time that you could then attach to the gimbals, and then you could do videos as you're walking around different locations on cruise ships. So I was thinking it from the travel perspective. And then ever since I got the RV, I've been looking at GoPros again for the last 2 years, where I want to be able to mount one as a dash cam to use it when I'm driving, because there's so many incredible sights that you see along the way. And I was thinking, it would be really good to be traveling with someone, because if they are driving, I can be doing videos while on the road, or if I'm driving, they can be doing videos while we're on the road and talking about some of the things that we see, maybe showing some history of the area as we're driving along and stuff. So there's all these ideas floating through my head, but because I am driving by myself, the GoPro would have to go on the window, would have to be mounted somehow. And I have a center thingy down my windscreen, so I've got to figure out how to get around that. So I have the GoPro going the whole trip, but that also means too that I can go back later, look through that footage, take out little snippets of things along the way, but also too there's things that I'd really like to be able to take pictures of as I go. So why not go through the video and get that screenshot? Stop it, freeze it as a screenshot, take the photo, and then I can share those things. Because there are some incredible sights that you see when you're out on the road, even when you're driving through the desert, there's some amazing sunsets, some amazing sunrises. It could be, the little dust devil that's blown up over there, or the tumbleweeds that go across the road. It could be the way the light's hitting the mountains or the hills. It could be the way the clouds are with a storm coming in or something like that you see off over in the distance, and hope like heck that you get through that area before it hits the road or it's gone before you get there. There's just amazing sights to see along the way. And then also you get those silly driver things, and you get those crazy vehicles on the road too. Like one time I was driving, in fact it was November of 2019. I am driving from Phoenix back towards San Diego along the 10, so I'm heading west on the 10, and there's this weird sight coming down the road, and I'm like, what the hell is that? And it was the Oscar Mayer Wiener vehicle driving down the road, and I was like, I'd seen pictures of it. It was the first time I'd ever seen it in pictures. Like, damn, I wish I had that dash cam set up so I could grab things like that. Yesterday when we were driving up here, we're coming along the I-10, and I look over, and usually when I get to a place where there's an off-ramp, I start looking at the on-ramp coming on to see, am I going to have to move over to another lane, or do I have cars coming up the on-ramp? Am I going to need to slow down to let them in, or am I going to have to move over to another lane? I could not move over to the other lane because of the traffic, but I happened to look at the on-ramp. There's about 40 to 50 motorcyclists, all dressed exactly the same, coming up on the freeway. And I was just sort of like, oh my gosh, I was like, and I just yelled out loud, I says, have a great ride, guys. Enjoy it, have a safe ride. Then like 2 miles later, we came to a screeching halt, all 4 lanes across the eastbound I-10, came to a screeching halt for like about 2 minutes. And then when we started moving again, there was about 10 motorcycles over on the side of the road with everybody off their bike. And I thought, well, where's the rest of them? And I thought, oh my gosh, did something happen to one of them towards the back end of the pack as they were going along? And I got about a mile down the road, and there was another off-ramp, and in that big triangular area that you have by an off-ramp, that's where the other 40 bikes were sitting. And they were all off their bikes looking back to where the other motorcyclists had been. So obviously something happened that caused the traffic to stop. They allowed for all the motorcyclists to get off the road and whatever. So it was sort of like, oh my God. And as soon as we stopped, I thought, oh my gosh, don't tell me somebody's been hit on the bike or one of the motorcyclists have had an accident. But these guys were all dressed in black from head to toe, riding gear. They had the black weatherproof pants on, the black weather jackets on, and across the back at the bottom there was the rocker that just had California written on it in neon green. It looked amazing against the black. And then down the left sleeve, they had California written down there as well. So obviously some sort of motorcycle club, gang, whatever, but they were all out for a ride. And I just sort of like, guys, just have safe travels. I'd love to be on the back of a motorcycle. I really would. I miss being on the back of a motorcycle. Haven't been on the back of a motorcycle for years, but being able to capture stuff like that as we're going down the road, sights that you see and things like that, I can't capture them right now. So the GoPro has been sitting in a list, in my RV list for a long time, and I keep going in every now and again and looking at it and looking at it and looking at it. And of course I can't decide which one I'm supposed to get. I have no clue. So I need somebody to kind of like, who knows GoPros, to say, okay, what do you want to use it for? This is the one we recommend. Somebody that has no financial interest in a GoPro, but just to give advice. So if you are somebody who uses GoPros a lot and knows a lot about GoPros, I'm looking for somebody who can share their expertise with me when I tell them how I want to use it, what I want to use it for, and recommend which one would be the best fit for me. I would love that. And, but it's all about looking out there, taking all that information and processing it later, giving yourself time for it to sink in. And I know there are action takers out there. There are people out there that sort of got to implement. Now, there are some things I will go and implement straight away because they're such a really good idea and they will really help my business immediately. But most of it gets pushed aside to the next morning, and that's when I have a look at it and decide, is it a now thing? Is it a this week thing? Or is it a not right now, but we're going to look at it in a month, in 2 months? So that's how I deal with the overwhelm from learning experiences. And it's something that it has taken me a while to get into that frame of mind when it comes to these events, because usually I I'm like, get to the end of the day, I'm like, oh my gosh, I gotta go through this. And I'm like going through this list. And I'm sort of like, okay, I gotta do this, I gotta do that, da, 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 da. And I get frozen in my business. It took me a while to wake up to, I was trying to do too much in a short amount of time, and I was trying to do stuff that at that time did not fit my business. So it has taken me a while to get here. So if that piece of information can help somebody with the overwhelm and the events and stuff that you are attending, feel free to use it. And as Casey's always telling us, take what you need and leave the rest, because not everything is going to be right for your business. And if there's an idea that I really like, but at the time I can't, I'm looking at it and I'm going, yeah, that's a really good idea, but it's not for my business. I turn it around and say, how can I make it work for my business? Because when you change the language from I can't use that for my business to how can I, all of a sudden that brain starts going, how can, we start mulling over that. How can we put that into our business? And then you start looking at it from different angles, different perspectives, and you may come up with a solution on how to make it work, but it may not work for your business at that moment. So again, you put it in the remind in the to-dos as with a reminder, a week out, 2 weeks out, 3 weeks out, whatever it is, or months, and have it come back at that time. And it could be an idea that when you've looked at it from all the angles, you go, it was a really good idea, but it's not the right idea for my business. And you can put it in your resource pile, because I have a resource pile of ideas, of resources, books, and all of that I think is a really good idea at the time, but when I've looked at it from different angles, it doesn't work for my business. And even when I look at how can I make it work, I cannot find that way to make it work. So I put in resource thing because it could be something that I am able to use at a later date to help somebody else in their business, to give them that idea, or give them that resource or that book that will help them get over whatever that hump that they've got in their business. So I have rabbited on long enough. I need food. I need more hydration. I've been through like about 4 of these already, and these are 18 ounces, so a lot of water. And I've also had coconut water today, so a lot of fluids today. But that's okay, because one of the things of helping you stay alert when you're at events like this, where you're going to get brain fried and mind blown and get that overwhelm, is staying hydrated. One of the key things is staying hydrated. I'm probably going to have another 3 of these and maybe another glass of coconut water before the end of the day. But anyway, go out, have a super fantastic sparkling evening. Let us know in the comments below. Let us know in the comments below what you got up to for shaking up that shook up your Saturday. And we will catch you guys tomorrow morning for Serenity Sunday. Hey, konera. Oh, have a super fantastic sparkling evening too.